This is going back to, I guess it'd be 2015 probably, maybe 2014, because I think Anthony was fired July of 2014 for his tweets. And then after their vacation, the show came back as Opie with Jim Norton, and Anthony was off the show, and he was out starting Compound Media up, his own platform. And so Opie and Jim carried on the mornings of, I think it was called Opie Radio then, because it was the Opie and Anthony channel. Probably switched to Opie Radio, then became Faction, whatever, doesn't matter. And they had 2 guests on the show, Dave Attell and Stuttering John. And I love Dave Attell.
Yeah.
He's my favorite stand-up, and I love him as a guest. He's just a very interesting guy and witty, and I want to, if he's opening his mouth, I'm turning my head. Huh? What are you going to say? But God forbid you have Stuttering John, who thinks he's a bigger star than Dave Attell and more important. So we're going to see what happens when John comes in. And Adam, you pulled these clips.
There's also a lot of visual things going on here, especially the way Attell is looking at John the whole time, what Jim is distracted doing. If you can watch, please check it out. In this first one, he is John is making Opie explain why him and Ant broke up.
Right.
God.
All right, let me ask the question that you know.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Opie is this. So now Anthony's not here anymore.
No.
So what happened?
That's a very good question. It's very complicated.
Well, fuck! I talked about Stuttering.
Much like your marriage, it was time to move on, and
they have a son together.
We had a very complicated relationship. To be honest with you, we didn't talk much off air for many years. And
why is that?
I don't know. We just changed as people, I guess. I don't hate the guy or anything.
But then he got fired because of what happened?
For his tweeting.
Yeah, and the
company was very upset about it. And when he connected a little violence to his tweets, they felt, don't fucking kill me for saying this. They felt like he had to go.
And did you fight for him?
Of course. I don't even listen to those fucking assholes. Of course we did.
Oh, okay.
Of course
that's the only question. No, that's the only question because I was on the show yesterday, and then he was like he didn't know if you went.
He knows. He knows.
Oh, really?
He's very good at pushing buttons and keeping things going. So he knows. He knows we fought for him.
Opie's changed this story many times. He's told this story many different ways that he fought for Anthony, but he doesn't really have a specific example of fighting for Anthony. He also says, as soon as we saw those tweets, we knew this was the end. And he also says, it was time. It's time to change things up. You know, Anthony and I had been doing a show for 20 years. And
so all of the above.
And Anthony goes, I don't think you fought for me. And Opie goes, he knows I did. No, he doesn't. He told John the day before that he doesn't think he did. No, he knows. No, I've talked to Anthony about this. He doesn't think he did. And most people don't. But the thing that John's doing here that's so obnoxious is the thing he does on everyone's show. He comes on and starts interviewing the host about things that everyone in the listening audience already knows. Anthony's not here anymore? No, he's not. What happened? He got fired? What did he get fired for? Oh, tweets. Yeah. Everyone listening to the show knows that, John. He acts like he's like uncovering something.
Yeah. But at its core, it's about John.
Yes.
Because he wants to say, because I was hanging with Anthony and he said this.
Yeah.
Right. So he needs Opie to say this stuff so that he can involve himself in it. Rather than just like know that everyone's on the same page with everything that's going on here.
Right. Imagine
if Adam came on the show and just started asking me like, so Stuttering John, he was part of the Howard Stern show? Yeah, he was part of the Howard Stern show. What was his role there?
You drew first blood? Is that what happened?
You fast forwarded pretty quick right there. But,
do your research.
All right.
Exactly.
So this next clip, you could tell that John is looking to weasel his way in because there's an empty seat. And John has experience with the Jackie chair. And so he goes, well, Anthony's gone. Maybe there's an opportunity for me.
When people say you don't have loyalty, that's such 20 years is loyalty, you idiots.
I'm just asking.
No, I'm not mad at you at all.
I don't care if you're disloyal.
Can't you see John's looking for a job?
Yes, I am.
John brought his rolling bag.
I'm on the Opie Jim show.
Do you hear that?
Yes. So Dave picks up on the fact that John's looking for his angle in, and John's always applying for jobs on every show he's on at this stage in his career. When he was on Stephanie Miller, when he went on Anthony's show, he goes on Opie's show, everything is just like, hey guys, I'm available. Can you believe it? Yeah, we know and we can believe it.
It's so weird. The way he auditions is not by being the most supportive guest he can be. It's by trying to out-host the host.
Yes.
Which will never work.
Yeah.
Well, maybe in this case.
I did love the fact that Dave picked up on it and called him out. And so Dave has been on the Opie and Anthony show many times. He's one of the regulars as far as the comics go. Him and Jim are good friends. And so they're talking about what's happened with the evolution of the Opie and Anthony show and how Anthony left and what they're doing now. And Dave's ready to give some of his thoughts, which I'm very interested to hear. He's an outsider, but he also has some inside knowledge on this.
There were plenty of times in that 20 years we probably should have taken a break. Let's just put it that way. It became a very complicated relationship.
It's a dramatic story because, I just remember the highs and lows from terrestrial to satellite.
Of
to back and
course.
forth.
Well, I remember when you guys started, and we were talking about this before. Well, first of all, I hated my brother because he had a WOW bumper sticker and all that, and like he was so into you guys, and I was like, no, they're assholes. They're like,
Because you were drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes, I was drinking the Kool-Aid.
As you worked for him, you were drinking the Kool-Aid.
So Dave starts talking about the highs and lows from terrestrial radio. Remember we used to do terrestrial radio, and then you got
But my brother was wearing a funny shirt one time. He wore a shirt.
Well, he liked your show, did he? Your brother did? Gives a shit, John. Let the fucking guest talk. It's Dave Attell. Let's let him talk for a minute.
And you saw Dave sink like, ugh.
Yep. Because he knows. Dave's done shows with John before. He knows what this is.
And he's gracious. He lets him go.
Of course. So then John starts interviewing Opie, and he wants Opie to tell this Howard Stern story that he's told many times, possibly earlier on in this episode.
The same episode, yeah.
Same episode, he's already told this story. But John goes, tell your Howard story, because that's John's connection to anything, so he needs, let's talk about Howard.
This is funny because I don't know if you heard this, Dave. We were talking about that. So, how many times have you seen Howard? Because anyone's listening, Howard's on the same floor as you guys.
Me and Kenny walked by him last week, and that's the third time I've seen him in 5 years.
And how does that go?
Wow. Kenny tells it like I didn't even really look at him. I was just walking past him in the hall. Ronnie is like the greatest, and we talk to Ronnie all the time. That's Howard's guy, and Kenny was walking me down the hall, so it was this weird fucking passing in the hallway. And Kenny tells the story that Howard looked like he wanted to fucking strangle me.
Really?
I just want to point something out. Howard doesn't want to strangle anyone. Howard's a timid, scared man.
He's a germ freak.
Yeah, he may be tall, but he's not. Howard's not a guy like, I'm going to kick that fucking guy's ass. Like, that's the opposite of who Howard is. And Opie makes everything about, like, I'm the biggest enemy for him. He hates me so much. He looked at me like he wanted to strangle me.
Right.
He's just like, is that what Opie looks like now? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with this guy?
It's like Steel Toe saying, I made so many people mad.
Right, yeah, he was seething in the hallway because I was there.
It was also a weird move, like when John tells other people's stories. He was speaking of an experience he had, but he had to tell it from this other guy's perspective, like he wasn't even there.
Yeah,
which
good
is
point.
Weird.
Yeah,
Very weird.
So Kenny told me that what Howard did was, yeah, but you were there. You were there.
I wasn't looking at him because he won't look at me.
Oh, okay, that must be it.
Howard doesn't even know that you're there.
So then John starts just making small talk for no reason because he doesn't know how to be a guest on a show. John just thinks that if he's talking, then it's content. Opie thinks the same thing. But back then, Opie was a little smarter and decides to get with the small talk, and let's actually starts to get into the situation with Anthony Cumia.
Where you living now?
Upper West.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And how many kids you got?
2.
Oh, cool.
So just to finish, though, I don't think the door is completely closed with me and Ann working together, and I don't think it's closed here as well. But that's up to him. I can't be fighting his battles anymore. I fought a lot of his battles. He knows that.
No, because I was just asking because
I love the guy, but also we started wanting to do different things with the radio show. So he's doing his thing, and he's very successful. Of course he is, and we have had tremendous success with this new version. So.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is me and Jimmy are working really hard to make sure this doesn't sound like Opie and Anthony, because that wouldn't be fair to what me and him did together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opie used to say this a lot back then. He'd be like, yeah, we don't want this show to be like the Opie and Anthony show. But it was him and Jim and Dave Attell and Louis C.K. and like Colin Quinn and all the same people were still the guests and they were still doing the same format. It's just like he pretended to make an effort to make it different, but he didn't. He put zero effort into making it different. The only difference was the funniest guy was no longer on the show.
Yeah. A murder mystery radio play would be not like the Opie and Anthony show. And I
remember, I think it was Louis C.K. when Opie was pitching like, yeah, we want this to be different. I think it was Louis C.K. It was just like, oh, well, then you got to change the format. You can't just say you want it to be different. You actually have to make it different somehow. Yeah. No, I'd rather just pretend I'm doing that rather than actually do it so that the Opie and Anthony fans get off my back about how the show's not as good as it used to be.
And I love how John's like, can we please get back to me doxing you? Where do you live? How many kids?
I know.
What part of town? What street?
I know. What was that conversation? Oh, cool. I got 2 kids. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know he wanted to say, I have 3 kids. Puerto Rican disappointment.
Yep.
He wanted to go into his act right there.
Yeah.
All right, so Opie's talking about how Anthony invited him to do a show with him. At this time, this would have been huge news because Anthony gets fired. Opie goes out and does a show without him. And so it was put to Opie like, hey, come on my show. I'll come on your show, whatever. And let's hash this out and talk about it. And Opie was like, not doing that.
And one other thing that we can move on, like people are like, why haven't you done a show? I reached out to Dan and said, look, we need to fucking talk before you do your show, period.
Yeah.
Get a beer or dinner.
Yeah.
So that's on him. And then he made fun of like, he needs to fucking have a beer or dinner before he comes on my show. Yeah, I kind of do. We had some things that we should talk about a little bit.
So you guys have some?
No, nothing major. We just grew apart and we weren't talking when these mics were.
That would be compelling to listen to, though.
Yeah,
because you guys, I don't think you guys would throw each other under the bus.
I don't talk about that shit on.
I mean, if the first time you speak is live, I don't think you guys. I think you know each other well enough that nobody would throw each other under the bus. There wouldn't be any. You know, Ann knows you. It's like you're not gonna kill each other. I think that you would hash things out, and it would be very interesting.
So thank you, Jim, for stepping in there. Opie's going, I want to talk to Anthony before we do a show live together. And Jim is saying what all of us are thinking, like, that's the conversation we want to hear. The one over beers or dinner that you're describing, that's the one that would be compelling for all of us. And Opie's going, well, no, first I want to see why he's mad at me. And I want to make sure he doesn't say anything that's too embarrassing.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Like if there's 2 guys and one of them's like, I'll talk to you anytime, anywhere in front of an audience. And the other guy goes, I don't want to do that. Like me and Aaron Imholte. Then one of the guys has something that he's trying to protect. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to gaslight his audience as he keeps going, we went to bat for Anthony. We did everything we could for him. Will you talk to him on a show? No. Definitely not.
And if you notice, Attell and Jim, you get the feeling they've been here all day long for hours. They're very distracted, doing lots of other things. As soon as Opie starts talking about getting back together with Ann, Jim sits down, Attell looks up, they stop what they're doing, and they just focus on him. Mm-hmm. Like something's happening. So John clearly sees the moment here and knows just what it needs.
Oh, I think you need a neutral party to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. John,
yes.
I think you would be a great.
I think
you would be a great Jimmy Carter for this one.
Yeah, I heard you guys get along really well. We're getting along, it seems. Yeah. So maybe you should be the guy.
Well, you know what? Can I do it?
Sit down somewhere in Staten Island, something northern Italian.
It'll be perfect.
We'll bring Artie Lang in. And we'll figure out all sorts of problems.
David Attell keeps playing cards until that guy goes home.
No, that would be great. We should. I can mediate the whole thing.
Right. I think I don't know. I don't think Ed likes confrontation in general, and but I don't see him really defending me and all that shit. He kind of lets these assholes continue with their bullshit. When one lousy thing from him would make a huge fucking difference.
Okay, a lot to unpack on this one. First off, Dave is fucking with John. Hey, maybe you could be the media. Just yes. Why aren't they hiring me? Where's the offer? I'll sign the contract right now. It's like. He's fucking with you. He knows how desperate you are for a gig, and so he's taking advantage of that. And John doesn't see that. He's just like, I'd be perfect for this. I'm the guy to do this kind of thing. But Opie at the end there goes, really, this is all Anthony's fault. If he would just go on and say that I went to bat for him and to not be mad at me anymore, then people will stop being mad at me. That's not how life works. People don't like Opie. If Anthony goes, guys like Opie. Like, no, I don't. Sorry. You can't make me like the guy. Also, Opie goes, I wish Anthony would do something. He did. He offered to do a show with you where you could explain everything. And you went, not unless we get beers first and talk about it.
Hey, that whole thing about me not going to bed for you.
yeah.
Not talking about that.
It's like, could you pretend that I did or something? So it's crazy to me that, we have the combination of John wanting a job and Opie trying to cover his ass, both happening at the same time on this show. And John has a brilliant observation while watching all this unfold.
Well, like I said, it's fucking
so
complicated.
But no, but I'll tell you it's weird because I was telling my brother about this when because he picked me up at the airport. And I'm like, like I know you guys didn't talk that much off the air. He goes, he's like, I find it so hard to believe because you guys were so great on the air together.
Great stuff, John.
Yeah.
So you found out that Opie and Anthony didn't like each other, but it sounded like they did on the air, right? Because they were pretty good on the air together. Yeah. We're all way past that.
I'm going to blow your mind about Simon and Garfunkel right now. You're not going to believe it.
It's so insane, and the fact that
wait, Adam, what do you mean?
And the fact that John comes on and he goes, well, that's my brother was surprised by this. He's like, stop talking about your fucking brother. Yeah. Has nothing to do with anything. You're in the studio with Opie and Jim, Dave Attell, talking about Anthony, and you keep going back to my brother's a fan of your show. Whatever. No one cares.
He keeps cutting off these people to add this point. And if you notice, at some point during that, John, I think his hands are flopping around, and he hits some gear, and Jim starts looking around like, what is that sound? And he looks everywhere but John, because it's like, it couldn't possibly be coming from our guest. Like, it must have been something else. No, it was John.
But John really is just a seat warmer.
Yeah.
He's adding nothing to this. He's just obviously taking things away.
Look at how they're looking at him right now.
Yep. Yeah, they're just like, what are you doing, man? All right, but don't worry. Opie's not putting this on Anthony. That's for sure.
I'm not putting any of this on Ant, by the way. I'm just talking about it.
Hey, listen, it's just like me and Howard.
I think the guy's incredibly fucking talented. It's an incredibly talented, funny fucking guy. But in 1999, I was ready to walk. I'm like, I'm going to go just do something else. And then my agent's like, is there anything we can do? This is crazy. You know how much money's on the table? I go, well, we're working with this new comic. Jesus.
Yeah, young Jimmy.
Well, this is...
Oh, Jesus. This is Jim. This guy is like... I haven't seen a guy like this since Artie.
I know.
What was your name back then? Jimmy Norbit? Norenstein?
So Jim was on my first tour?
Huh?
Jim was on my first tour.
I can't hear it again. I can't hear him tell this fucking story again.
Whatever. Who cares? This isn't about you, idiot.
No, but he said it's just like me and Howard.
Yeah, did you notice that? And everyone went right past that. It's like Opie and Anthony's breakup is just like you and Howard Stern.
I wish they had stopped and said, how?
Yeah,
Give
you were the call screener, you idiot.
One example of how.
And John will never understand this. He thinks like, I was on the Howard Stern show. Yeah, Anthony had a show that was popular too. Yeah, his name was in it. Yes. His name was the title of it.
Yeah.
It's very different than the call screener and the stunt boy from Howard Stern. You fucking moron.
There's like some meme about the bass player from Coldplay. Like, no one knows who this guy is. He's probably the richest bass player in the world. No one knows who that is. John was a rhythm section player in a very popular band for a brief period of time. Mm-hmm. And he thinks it's like he's the Gallagher brothers in Oasis. It's nothing like that. You're thinking of Howard and Robin.
It's Pete Richard and Coldplay.
There you go.
Who is that? I don't know. I just made it up. Maybe it's the bass player. No one knows.
Could be.
No one knows.
No one knows.
No way you could find out.
Yeah, there's no way to find out. So then John goes back to playing the mediator. He's auditioning for this new role he's going to have.
Oh. Now I have to ask you a question.
But then we got to more of an understanding where we didn't have to do that anymore.
When they realized that I hated
chemistry.
both of them.
Like it clicked pretty much right away.
What was the issue that you guys didn't talk? What was it? I mean, there's got to be something.
No, that's the sad part about it. There's not like a he fucked me over, I fucked him over, none of that shit. He was getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And like his whole life fucking changed.
Yeah.
And I was blown off pretty good right away.
Oh, really?
He stopped really socializing.
Ah.
So And then there were rumors
Poor Jim, he was kind of the kid.
There were rumors I didn't like. There were rumors I didn't like his girlfriend and stuff. That's not true.
Well, Opie doing what he does best, taking full responsibility. Oh, no, actually zero responsibility. And he started that off with like, hey, it's not my fault. It's not his fault. But, you know, he changed his lifestyle. He stopped hanging out with me. He did a bunch of shit. People accuse me of a thing, but that's not true. Fuck Opie. He's never changed. Everything just happens to him. Poor guy. Can you imagine living a life where everything just happens to you all the time?
I would be so happy to never have to take responsibility.
Right? Sounds
and I think we saw E-Rock walking by in the background. Did you see that right at the end there?
Oh, I was watching the Cubs game.
And did you notice that?
They missed a fucking obvious strike three call.
Carl took responsibility for that.
They missed an obvious strike three. It's right down the center of the plate. I'm sorry, Adam, what were you saying?
No, I was just following the script. I don't know where you're at anymore. What page you're on.
I didn't know the Opie was going to miss the call. I would have written it into the script.
Do you notice how Opie shot him down in the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was great. I think Dave was laughing at it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now I have to ask you a question.
But then we got.
But if you get to the end of it, you'll see E-Rock walk by.
But now I have to ask you a question. It's like that's not what we're here for. Let the man talk. I don't care if E-Rock's there or not. So John asks for a job yet again.
It was so complicated. Then it also was enticing. Well, maybe we'll continue and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
Plus,
well, if you guys do, I could use a job. And
the thing with these guys, and I've
stated your case pretty well, John.
I've said this.
Notice Jim does not react to this. He doesn't laugh or giggle or anything. If this is a joke, John's used it too many times, so it's not funny. It's not a joke, and Jim knows that. Watch this again as John goes, and by the way, I'll take the job. And Jim goes, yeah.
Well, if you guys do, I could use a job. And
the thing with these guys, and I've stated your case pretty well, John. I've said this to Opie. I've had the thing of
he's pretending to laugh about it, like, guys, I was joking, right? I guarantee after his segment, he tried to talk to Opie, he talked to Jim, he talked to Sam or anyone he could talk to, and be like, guys, honestly, I am available if you want me.
Watching them like again, like you said, the kid. I'm kind of in the middle watching, not in the middle like they pit me again, but just watching a married couple in a way.
Yeah. Kramer versus Kramer,
and very different people, both remarkably different people.
We started not really understanding each other and where we were coming from.
Yeah.
Who are these podcasts?